All right, everyone. Neat treat for me. Get to have lunch with Bradley Adkins. Good Idalooan, and thank you for coming.
Thank y'all for having me. Glad to do it.
And bribing him with food, some barbecue, pizza, burgers. You got your mix here, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I know all of us in the Idaloo community are super proud, and I feel like I got to watch you grow up. You graduated right after my oldest son,
Yeah.
and you've had a lot of things happen since then. One thing I wanted to we grew up similar with ag backgrounds. So you grew up in Idaloo, but your farming was in Crosby County, right?
Yeah, Estacado, just there, kind of northeast of Idaloo, and got a farm there in between Idaloo and Lorenzo. Just just out there, a little small community.
Right. And so you grew up out there, and your dad farmed, and that was your life, right?
Yeah, I grew up on the farm, like out there for the first couple years of my life, and I remember like riding on the spray buggy in my mom's lap. And then there were times I remember like crawling on hands and knees, pulling morning glories and stuff. So yeah, definitely that. And then we moved into Lorenzo town for a couple of years, and then Idaloo from there. So born and ingrained.
So farming is just an easy 9-to-5 job and no work, and 5 days a week type environment.
Man, I wish that was the case.
Yeah.
No, as my dad would say, sometimes it's early mornings and long nights, and sometimes you can't go home till the job gets done. And so there's times it's long and grueling, and then there's times it's a little more enjoyable.
And so I think with the ag background, and then when you went to Idaloo, won a state championship as a junior, basketball and football, right?
Yeah.
And win several times basketball. And how did that ag background help you translate that to that work ethic?
Yeah, it was definitely just ingrained in me. And you look back at that team, you had Riley Payne and Matthew Sells, a couple of those kids who were also just kind of raised in that form of a background. And it was just one of those things. It's just who we were. It was ingrained in us, and something about it too that we just hated to lose. And so when you kind of put those combinations together, we would be up at the gyms before school started, and there were times I wouldn't get home till 7, 8 o'clock at night. My mom would be like, "Man, what are y'all doing up there?" And so, it was something that was just we were used to, and we always joked that we didn't like when it was time for summer because then we just had to work even more on the farm. So
when I grew up, I thought school was a vacation.
That's about how it went sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Well, and so with that work ethic, how's that translated past then? Because I know you've had that success. I mean, we loved watching you at Tech, and then to be in the Olympics and all that. And a little bit of how the Idaloo tradition, and that expectation of winning.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that nothing's given to you. If you want it, you have to go get it. And that being said too, man, if there's something you want, you can get it. You just have to be willing to put in the time, put in the effort, and go after something with everything you have. You see nowadays there's so much half-hearted and things that we're going to be lazy and it's going to fall into your lap. And people are, you see a lot of privilege, but that was just something, like if we wanted it, we were going to go after it. And that's something that I'm so thankful for my dad and granddad. You could see that ingrained in them. It was this, I've got to kind of make this happen attitude, and going to do whatever I can on my behalf to put myself in a best position to succeed. And without the work, man, a lot of people, they kind of talk the talk, but I'd rather you show me personally.
And so, which one was the stronger, your mom or your dad?
Well, no, my dad definitely pushed that. My mom was the one, man. She took great care of me. And, she was just the ultimate supporter, and then, man, mom, and cooked me meal after meal, and they were at everything, and so. Definitely couldn't have asked for much better there.
So today, you're a professional athlete, still high jumping, right?
Yes.
And is it 7'2"? What is your?
So I've jumped 7 feet 6 inches.
6 inches. So that's like the door is how high?
Usually around 7 feet sometimes.
So 6 inches.
6 inches over that.
Yeah, that is just amazing. So how does your day start, and how do you still prepare and train?
Yeah, so I'm actually currently right now, what I'm doing, I'm actually waking up in the mornings at about 5:30. I'm going to the churches in my church in the morning from about 6 to 8, and I'm just spending time in there. And I've opened it up to, pray for our church and pray for the city and things. And I've allowed it so that people can come in and join that if they want to. So that's how my mornings start always, regardless of at the church or at my house. I spend time in prayer and in the Word. That's all I know. And then, I'll run home, get some breakfast, spend a little time reading, and then I'll go to practice for a couple hours. I still practice up at Tech with, James Thomas. He's my jumps coach and the jumps group. And so, man, I'm around those guys, and they've set up an incredible program. As you can see, they just won another Big 12 championship.
Yes.
And
Yes.
about to hopefully bring home a national title. And so I go and I work out there for a couple hours, usually run, work out, and then I'll kind of come home and gear down, just kind of whatever's going on that week. I know Monday nights I typically, I'm in Young Life, which is
Yes.
kind of a high school ministry organization. Tuesday nights are my college group, so I'm highly involved with just athletics and my church and really just Jesus, I guess. So
Yes.
Just staying busy with all that.
Well, I know you're making a difference because my son Justin, he said, I really admire what you're doing with your walk with God. So whether you know it or not, it's reaching out. So, and what church is that you're?
So I go to Living Waters. It's still a really new church. It's a non-denominational, and man, we're just pressing in for this city. There was actually a team from Bethel that was just here and just kind of, I guess, leading a revival type sense. But we just want to serve and get into the community and be a church that goes out. And so we're looking to serve and get out and make a difference, and not just come and gather, but really make a dent for the kingdom of God.
Amen. and so all your, I know like Coach Taylor and all the coaches from IDLU on up, how has coaches made a difference in your life?
Yeah, I've been so fortunate to have some just great coaches, from just men of who they were. Man, they always just stood up for kind of what's right, and really pressed that, man. We were, like we said, the work ethic was there, but that you had men that would really just set a good example. And I think that for most of them, it was always something bigger than sports, and how can I help you be a better man? And all the way from Coach Taylor and Helms, all the way to Wes Kitley, they're all ingrained, and there's something different about them, and that's something I know a lot of kids don't have that privilege of having such great coaches, and that we're always there. But just the support, it's just can't even begin to describe it.
Yeah, and so today, what are your I know with the ministry and making a difference, is there anything else that is on the horizon that you're excited about?
Well, no, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
we're gonna see right now. Pursuing this track thing, I know there's a World Championships in Doha here coming up this year, and so hopefully make a press towards that. And in between, I don't know, just kind of seeing where the road takes me, seeing what doors God opens. Obviously, maybe at some point, I go and help my dad out at the farm from time to time.
Right.
I'm sure I'll kind of dabble in that some, but really right now I'm just pressing in and just waiting, taking it one day at a time, seeing what doors open up.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I know you're inspiration to so many folks, and so I always like to ask, is there any words of wisdom, of quotes or phrases or anything at all that you live by, that you have in, that your motivation?
Well, when I go to speak to kids kind of my age or younger, really younger, maybe still in the high school, especially the smaller schools that I came from, one thing I always leave them with, I always tell them to dream big and go after it, and work hard with everything you have, and always trust and believe in God. And when you kind of pull those combinations together, man, there's no thing that you can't accomplish. But one quote that has stuck out to me here lately, I actually read it in a book called The Circle Maker. It said, work like it depends on you and pray like it depends on God.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of something I've been working into. But man, I always tell kids, man, work hard, dream big, work hard, and never give up, and always pursue God. And that was never give up is something that y'all can probably attest to. There's many times that I've wanted to walk away, and it would have been easy to and made sense to. But even right now, it hasn't looked great. But I can't quit because God has something bigger stored.
Amen. Yeah, well, we thank you for living your destiny and getting out there and putting yourself out there. And, you know, I think much is given, much is expected, but you also are able to give back a lot, right?
Yeah.
And seems like the more you give, the happier it makes you, right?
Yeah, there's just, I definitely love that. That's one reason I'm here, is to, like you said, inspire and love people and man, let them know that, just let some hope rise, you know.
So they can follow you on Facebook and Twitter, right?
Instagram,
Instagram, all those, and because you'll be blessed the more time you hang around him and everything, right? So, all right. Well, God bless you. Thank you, man. Yeah, amen.